channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking a little bit more about motherhood, but then also as well as some kind of things that I've been kind of going through, what I've been realizing, I guess you should say, especially since the full moon just passed. It's also a little bit in connection with my most recent blog post. I'll go ahead and link my blog website for you guys down below, so go ahead and check it out. And for those of you who haven't already checked out the website, it's super simple, and that's the whole point. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. But yeah, so for those of you who have already checked it out, thank you so much, and I hope that you guys join the email list so that way you can get notified every time a new blog goes up, as well as here on this channel. Make sure your notifications on so you guys know every time a new video goes up, and you can go ahead and follow me on my Instagram as well. I'll leave all that jazz down below in the description. I wanted to talk about what it is for me to be a mom and going through this journey that I'm on right now. So I am a first-time mom. I do have two bonus daughters, but they don't live with us full-time. Sorry, I'm hole punching. So I am a first-time mom to a now, she's soon to be 2.5 years old, a little girl. And let me tell you, motherhood is a lot of things. I think that when you become a new mom, especially, you know, for the first time, you try to seek out all these answers. And my parents always told me there's no book on being a parent. And even my mom now is like, oh my God, there's so much information now. It's almost like you have instructions on how to raise a kid, but it's really not. Because everyone parents differently, because your child is differently. Our personalities are different as humans first. So we parent our kids the way that we feel is best. But if you think about it, we also parent based on who we are as moms, as humans first, or who we are in this human body. I am finding that being a toddler mom is hard as fuck, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, cause there are a lot more days where I'm just like, oh my God, she's so cute. And oh my God, did you notice how she did that? Or I'm just watching her facial expressions. I love the look on her face, the energy that she has when she's really focusing on something, or when she's learning something new, or she's really in the moment. Toddlers are in the moment all the time. And I wish, and I would want for all of us, especially as parents or just people, to really start living our life that way, to really be in the moment like they are. They enjoy and appreciate everything. You know, minus the tantrums aside or whatever, but you know, they're not logical yet. They don't think logically like we do. And even sometimes we don't think logically. And I just noticed, I'm so sorry, I'm washing clothes right now. So that's the dryer and the washer in the background. So, but anywho, and this is the best lighting is in the kitchen because the sun is like beautifully like the kitchen. Oh, sorry, squirrel all the time. But you know, so where was I going with this? So okay, so as we are in our human bodies, so as we get to know ourselves, you start to really look at how you parent. I say that for myself. I'm not speaking for anyone else. If you do, if you don't, whatever. I've realized that my personality is the way that I chose to raise her. And I say chose past tense because as she's growing, every single day I'm learning something different about toddlers, about the phase or stage that she's going through, her eating habits, her vocabulary, how she's thinking, how she's processing things, her emotions, everything. I'm learning something new all the time. So I have to kind of adjust my parenting style. I thought that I wanted to raise her the way that my parents raised me, but it's not realistic because it's a different world. And also because of who I am not my parents. And also too, because now that I'm going through this awakening, I'm starting to become more mindful and more kind of seeing my true self. And through when you start to see your true self, you see life, you see everything through a different pair of eyes. It's brand new. You know, your perspective changes on everything, including how you see your toddler. So now when I'm looking at her, I'm like, she's not doing anything wrong. She's genuinely curious. She really wants to touch it because she really wants to touch it. She wants to feel it. She wants to hold it. You know, she wants to see, oh, what does this do? Can I lick it? Is it food? Is it edible? You know what I mean? They're not doing anything wrong. Now, mind you, if she's trying to catapult herself off the couch, or she's trying to climb on top of the table, something that you know, oh my God, it's not safe, then that's kind of like, she's still not doing anything wrong because she doesn't know what's gonna hurt her until it actually hurts her. Does that make sense? If it does, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. If it doesn't, just be mindful of it. Like take that little nugget with you throughout the day or throughout the week and start noticing. So it's making me, I'm becoming more, I'm learning to become more patient with myself, therefore I can be more patient with her. Because I was lashing out a lot for stupid things. Like, you know, she's going through this phase now where she's picking her nose, and it irritated me because I'm like, why the hell are you picking your nose? Get your finger out of your nose. She's not eating it or anything. She's just really just, and then if she does find something up there, I am the booger holder, apparently. If I'm around, or you know, whatever, she'll just kind of wipe it on me, or she'll go look for a tissue. She'll say, ew, mommy, ew, kind of, you know, and she'll wait for me to get a tissue for her. But it's curiosity. So of course I had to go look it up, and it's, you know, and I'm like, well, let me not be so critical of her, because every time I'm telling her, stop, don't do that, don't touch that, take that out, don't do this, don't do this, don't do, every time I'm setting limitations and telling her what she can't do, it's me critiquing her. And as she gets older, this becomes a part of her subconscious mind. And then what if she develops anxiety, you know, or starts fearing things, or starts becoming super self-critical of herself? This could impact her self-esteem as well. You know, those are the things that I started looking into. And a lot of people don't think that way. They're like, oh, well, she's just 2. She's not thinking of that. It's really not that deep. Yes, it is. Historically, scientifically, you know, you can look up Psychology Today, the American Board of Pediatrics, or even spiritual guides can tell you that from the ages of 0 to about 6 or 7, those are the holy grail years where we all get programmed. The way that we are, the way that we think, the way that we behave, all stems from what we were shown, what we were taught, what we've seen, what we've grown up in, the household that we've been in, how our parents talk to each other, how they talk to us, how they talk to our siblings. When we go out in public, you know, how do they talk to the waitress or the cashier, or, you know what I'm saying? Everything, the things that we've watched, the things that they've read to us. If they didn't read to us, how did they communicate with us? Everything between 0 and 7. When you realize how impactful that is, it's like, it really kind of makes you want to check yourself. Because I'm like, wow. Because you think about yourself and it's like, how was my life up to this point? You know, what are the actions? What are the things that I've manifested due to my thoughts and my actions? Am I happy with the things that have happened? No. So it's like, okay, but I still have the choice to change it. You know, as the days goes on, and even in my life now, you know, I start to really get a hold of my thoughts. And I was gonna make a point, but I'll come back to it. I'll circle around back to it about, you know, my thoughts, because I'm gonna tell you guys a real raw ass moment that I had yesterday. But with toddlers and just parenting, that I really have to calm the fuck down. I am her guide. I am her guide. Yes, I am her parent, but I am her guide. I am not above her. If I do something, if I lash out, if I snap over something ridiculous, or if I realize that maybe I really did hurt her feelings, and I don't call her names or anything like that, you know what I mean? But like, I'll say, you know, stop touching that, or oh my God, like carajo, you know, which is like a Spanish thing, like damn it, you know. And I'm like, nah, I told you not to touch that. Or, you know, she'll do something and she wants to do something, and then she takes a marker and she goes off with it. Like, kind of, now I can kind of recenter myself. And over time, because they learn things through habit, through routine. You know, what are you repetitively telling them, or even showing them without even telling them? She watches me all the time. A lot of things that she does and says is because she's seen me do it, or she spends a lot of time with my mom. And my mom is like the fun grandma. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? When she goes to grandparents' house, it's like a free-for-all. So when she comes here, she kind of lets loose, and I'm not, you know, because my mom does kind of ramp her up a little bit. You know, my mom is the one that, you know, she likes to sing and dance with her and let her be super silly. So when she comes home, she's super silly. And she was doing the blowing the raspberries, and one of the things is that with the raspberries, she's kind of taken it a little too far, and now where she's noticing that if she blows raspberries kind of hard or really slowly, she's like, oh, spit, what is it? She doesn't know it's spit or drool, but she's like, oh, all this saliva coming out of my mouth, this is cool. So she has this thing now where she likes to spit, and it's just gross. But I have to watch how I respond to her when she does that, because when she first started doing it, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That is so gross. And I'm like freaking out for like these 10 seconds, and she's looking at me. And then ever since that day, every time she starts to do it, she'll still want to do it, I'll give her this look, and she'll cover her mouth and kind of like, oh my God, you know? And when she did that, I realized this child, she's only 2. She shouldn't have any fear. Like, we teach them fear. We teach them doubt. We do that as parents, as caregivers. We do that. It was a reflection of me. It's like, wow, is this what I've done? The way that I reacted to her, now she's just like, I don't want her to be afraid of me. I want her to respect me, but I also want her to respect herself and to respect her dad. And when she goes to school, respect her teachers, respect her friends, teaching her respect, but respect shouldn't come out of fear. So I kind of, now I'm you know, when she's doing it, but with the spitting, I'm a mom. I don't know, how am I supposed to deal with her to stop spitting? I mean, eventually she'll stop, it's a phase. She'll get over it, but it's just gross. You know what I mean? It's a fine line. So it's more of like, okay, so sometimes too, because she is too, sometimes she does things because she is testing me, and that's what toddlers do. They're testing your not your patience, they're testing your limits, and they're testing you. Like, is this something that is appropriate, or is this something that I'm allowed to do, or is this something, you know? So anytime she does a lot of things, she's always watching me to see how I react. And react is a very strong word. I reacted a lot, and I still do, and I'm trying to I'm working on that. I'm catching myself when I start to react, and it's more respond. And even if I realize that the way that I respond right now might not be the most loving or caring way, or in a way that she's really gonna hear me. So let me just shut my mouth for a second. I'm gonna breathe. Let me be in the moment. What is she actually doing? And I ask myself, is she going to harm herself? Is she going to harm me? Is she going to harm someone else? Is it harmful in any way? And if it's not, it's like, you know what? All right. So with spitting, what I've done is anytime that she wants to, I still look at her and I say, hey, we only spit in the sink. So instead of telling her what not to do, I just say, hey, this, you know, tell her what she can do. So when she grabs a marker and a pen and she kind of wants to go ho-hum all over the place, I kind of say, oh, no, oh, that's awesome, look. And I'll give her a pad of paper and give her a big sheet of paper and go, you can write on here, go nuts on here. And she will. Or sometimes she likes Post-it notes because she sees me writing on Post-it notes. And I will give her a stack of just plain white, and they're not Post-its. They don't stick anywhere. They're just these little notepads. And that's all she wants to do. She wants to lay on the floor, grab a pen, and write like mommy. You know what I mean? So it's adjusting the way that I'm parenting, and I know that it's not agreeable with a lot of like my parents or my in-laws or the older generations, grandparents and older people, because that's not how they raised us, but that's not also how they were raised. You know what I mean? So you can't get mad at them or be resentful towards them. You have to love them, forgive them, because they did the best that they can, and now we're doing the best that we can. So that's that. So I'm working on some things. Another thing, so I'm gonna circle back around to my moment that I had yesterday. So yesterday, things happen, life, whatever, with bills, but I noticed that with him, and I noticed with me as well, I allowed his energy to kind of seep into my field, and I started kind of feeling a little bit like, and my thoughts got away from me. It was like one thought, and then it turned into another. You know what I mean? Like, and then they start kind of running away, and then I literally had to kind of run after them and go, no, stop. Sometimes you have to do that with your thoughts. And I'm like, no. And instead of saying, no, I don't want to think that, and I think I posted that somewhere on my Instagram actually. The more you think, no, I don't want to think that, no, I don't want to think that, the more you think about it, and it's true. So I have distracted myself. So I went down a little bit of a fear and worry, and then I got angry. And when I started kind of like, okay, how long have I been sitting with this? And I noticed it was about 5 minutes, but it was 5 minutes too long. And what I did was I started looking at Camila. Camila was sitting next to me, and this is all stuff going on in my head, and I could feel like I was starting to feel, oh my God, and I could feel it in the pit of my stomach. But I'm like, this is not real. It's not real. So I started looking at Camila, and I started interacting with her, and tickling her. And even though it was a little bit like I was forcing myself to kind of be in the moment, little by little, just do it. It kind of like, all right. And then those thoughts kind of just halted. And then I replaced them with new ones about good things, you know. What I started thinking to myself, all the things that I'm looking forward to, all the amazing, great things that I'm looking forward to. And then being in the moment, like, oh my God, I love the way that she laughs, and I'm so grateful that she loves me so much and that she's attached to me. And yes, it can be a little bit annoying sometimes when you're trying to use the bathroom, but you really think it's like, you know, they love you that much. And it's like, I don't want to corrupt that for her, where she starts to think over time, over years, because guys, they store all this stuff and they may not know it, but this is all this stuff that starts to program them, and as they get older, this affects how they behave. And I just think she really does love me, and it's not that just that I'm her caregiver. She looks at me in a way that I'm like the best person in the world. So why not start behaving like that for me? I am the best version of myself. I am becoming the best version of myself. You know, think about your daily life, and, you know, just think about, you know, are you the best version of yourself today, right now? Don't think about yesterday, because yesterday's done. Right now, this moment, as you're watching this, even if you have to pause this for a second and just really think about, what am I feeling right now? Am I feeling like the best version of myself? Am I thinking the best version of myself right now? What am I doing? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? And if you don't think so, that's okay. It happens. I told you yesterday I had a moment, and it wasn't just once throughout the day yesterday. It happened about 2 or 3 times. So guys, I'm human. I'm still learning, and we're all human. It's normal, and it's okay, and it sucks sometimes. It really does. But the good news is that you have a choice. You can decide whether you want to fucking live there, or if you want to pack your shit up and say sayonara to it and say, yeah, no, I don't need you. I have these new little buddies that are magical and are gonna make my life fucking great. You know, and I get it that sometimes the moments get the best of us, where we get so angry and we lash out, but you have a moment that you can still change that though. So if you've had that moment, there is no shame. I'm not judging you, because I told you I've yelled damn it and carajo and why the fuck, but it's becoming less and less, and you still have the moments to change them. You can still decide. They're still young enough that you can still decide, how am I going to speak to them? How do I speak to myself? You know, how do you speak to yourself every day? So anyhow, that was just kind of going on and on, but I kind of wanted to, you know, put the two, you know, how I treat myself is how I treat my daughter. Yeah. And then, you know, if you can't be 100%, then please tell me what you do. If you're a parent, if you're not a parent, I think that sometimes when you're a parent, it's nothing like a 2-year-old to really get you out of your vibes super quick. When you've told them something and you feel like you're repeating yourself 6,000 times, but you gotta love them, because they love you. But you love them because you created them. So, all right, guys, I will just keep going and going and going. If you guys did enjoy this, got anything from it, if it resonated with you, or even if there's something that maybe you want to share about how you mindful parent, I think that's a thing, mindful parenting. Please comment down below. Again, if there are any books, any other YouTubers, podcasts, whatever that you suggest for me, I am open to it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a magical day. Bye.